Hello paper crafters, welcome to my studio. I'm Joanne Rogers and today I want to show you how to make a rocker card. It's actually a lot easier than you might think. Let's get started. So we're going to start and use our deckled circle dies. And these dies are fabulous because they are nested. And whenever you can buy a set of dies that are circles or squares, triangles, stars, anything that we're going to get a lot of use of, you want to pick them up because they're going to be some of your best friends. So this particular set of dies has 14 different sizes, and we are going to use the third and the fourth largest. I'm just going to pull those out so that you can see them. Now I've measured all of mine and I just keep a little post-it note right on the plastic envelope for the dies for what sizes they are. So if I'm going for the third and the fourth largest, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going for the 4 and 5/8 and the 5-inch circles, okay? And they are going to nest really well together. Now, one thing that's cool about the decals is that they're not meant to look exactly the same inside each other. So all of the decals are a little bit different. So it's not, if you like a really nice, smooth, round outside edge and you want it to match that other edge on the inside, then probably you want to go with your regular circles. You want a fairly large circle for this card. So you don't want to go too small because your card will actually just get lost. So what I've done already is I have cut one of the large circles out of just basic white. Now you could go thick if you wanted, and it will be a really good thick card, but we are going to put on some designer paper, and the designer paper will actually add some bulk to this and just give it a little bit more weight. So this is the 5-inch circle. So I know my diameter is 5 inches. And then we're also going to cut a circle out of the Joy of Christmas designer paper. So these are all of the designs out of this paper. So there's leaves, there's berries and leaves. We have some great plaids in shaded spruce and in our cherry cobbler and real red. And then we have one that has a little mix of poinsettias. And on the back, we have some nice neutral tones with some musical notes here, and just some more plain. So I've chosen and I've cut out the red, the cherry cobbler, and the real red, and I've cut that out of the smaller circle, which is the 4 and 5/8. So what we're going to do is we're going to make one of these. You can do it one of two ways. I'm going to make it here now where I'm going to put the entire piece of the designer paper on our circle that's going to form the base of our card. I'm going to use liquid glue, and I'm going to put that everywhere. And just put that right down, and you don't have to try and really match it up, aside from we're looking for about the same amount of space of white showing all the way around. And what's really nice about this plaid is that it's not a complete straight image. It's sort of the suggestion because our lines are a little bit wavy. So now what you want to do is pull out your Stampin' Trimmer. So I know that my circle is 5 inches across the white, and I want to fold this in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my guide, and I'm going to take my circle, and the outside edge is going to go at half of 5, which is 2.5. So I'm going to find my 2.5 line. It runs all the way down here, and then I'm going to make sure that my top is right up against my lip. So just do a double check to make sure you're still on your 2.5 and you're on the lip. We want to make sure as well that we're using our scoring blade, which is the sort of taupe colored one, as opposed to the cutting blade. Now, one thing that I do want to show you before I actually do any scoring, if I were to score this right now the way it is, I have my lines on my paper going this way. If you have your own designer paper, it doesn't matter which way it goes, then it doesn't matter how you put your circle in there. But I'm going to straighten out my circle so that I can get my lines running pretty much top and bottom. Okay, so now I'm still going to line that up again, 2.5, put it right to the top. Try and get them straighter rather than crooked, and then I'm going to score. Now you're going to need to score just a few times here. Press a little bit harder, and then we're going to have our score line going right across, and you might not even be able to see that. So we're going to fold that along the score line, and we're going to fold it first with our hands. And I'm going to just check and make sure that I've pretty much lined it up. If I don't have it exactly straight, that's where I can use my bone folder to even it out a little bit. So it's not completely straight over here. And by that I mean if I were just to keep folding this, I would have more white showing from the back here. So I'm going to hold this in place. I'm going to line it up, and then I'm just going to use my bone folder to do that final crisping, that final burnishing. Okay, and then you have a rocker card. That's all you need to do to create your own rocker card. Okay, so we're going to just decorate this one up really quickly. I have a few different things here. I have some stuff that I've already done using the Festive and Fun stamp set. And with this stamp set, there's a lot of coloring involved, which I love, and I use my Stampin' Blends to do that. And then I also have a bow that I've made here, and I've already put the dimensionals on the back of these little critters. So what we're first of all going to do is we're going to take our bow and we are going to put that here. I'm going to play with my bow a little bit. So when you make one, I like my bows to be as floppy as possible up here, meaning that I like them to be nice and full. And then we're just going to take that and we're going to put it right onto a glue dot. So right onto the roll, press it down, lift it off, and then I'm going to put that right on the side. So the first thing that we're going to put on here is the greeting. And the greeting I just embossed with white, used my Versamark and then put white embossing powder on it. And the die itself is from the All That set, which is great because it has a little bit of an embossed image. And I love that it has the rounded edges. And then we're going to put on our mousse, and our mousse is going to go just right over top of that ribbon. Now I do want to give you a hint for as you're making these cards, you want to try and keep the weight. So we're adding weight here right now with our little images. You want to try and keep your weight sort of in the middle or evenly distributed. And I have a little bird here too, and our bird is going to go right. Let's put him up here because it won't rock as well if it's not evenly distributed. So there we go. We have our card, okay, and it rocks back and forth like that, which is great. Let me show you just another couple versions. So here's another one that we did in our live the other day. So you can see all the coloring and all the tips that I gave you for using your Stampin' Blends, coloring in tiny little spots like in the candy cane there. And then I want to show you another totally different version. So this is another rocker card, and this is one where I really did notice about the weight. And if I do this one, then you might be able to tell there, it actually leans a little bit that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another little embellishment and I'm going to put it up here so that it balances it out just a little bit. But there's an idea of a totally different kind of card that you can do too. And this is great because people will get them in the mail. They'll fit in one of our envelopes and people will get them and they will be a source of enjoyment. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, please, and I would love to see you again. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'd love to see you over in my email. You can sign up for my weekly emails and get free projects there at www.designwithjo.ca. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.